Hey everybody, this is tea time. This is tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're about to get into it. Now, everybody has over the last, I'm going to say about 72 hours or the last few days, have been really connected to this Carlee Russell story. Why? Because it was scary to many people. There was this young lady being a good Samaritan, driving down the road, and all of a sudden she sees a toddler in a diaper, in a white t-shirt, on a highway by himself. So she calls the police, and next thing you know, she's missing. We don't know if Atala is missing too. So everybody is really concerned. And out goes this, nationwide search for Carlee Russell. Everybody was concerned, including her family members and including the boyfriend or maybe ex-boyfriend. We're not really sure what role he played or plays in Carlee Russell's life. But we do know this, that many people was giving the boyfriend, I'm gonna call him for speaking purposes, the side eye when she went missing. They was blaming him, saying he might have had something to do with it. And he was taking a lot of heat for it. So when she returned 48 hours later, he took to his Instagram and he posted up a big, thank you for her safe return. And and said to everybody that supported him while others was thinking he was the reason why she disappeared, he thanked them also. But after the press conference yesterday, where the Hoover police came out and gave a list of things that did not make sense, to Carlee's story that she was kidnapped, they gave a list of things and said, you know what? Right before she went missing, she Googled the movie Taken. Right before she went missing, she Googled about Amber Alerts. It was so many things and so many clues that the Hoover police put out there that made people raise their eyebrows and say, uh-oh, what really happened to Carlee Russell? Was she kidnapped? Or did she stage this whole situation herself? And it had people starting to ask questions. So the boyfriend slash ex-boyfriend deleted his one and only post in support of Carlee Russell. And there were many others that started to back away and give her the side eye. So we're going to look at, the delete posts that Carlee Russell ex-boyfriend, had up and then took down. And we're also going to go to an activist. I like the words that she said, because you know what she said? Regardless of whether Carlee Russell is telling the truth or not, we cannot, pull back our support for anyone else that perhaps might be in this situation now or in the future and happen to be telling the truth. Now, guys, we're going to get more into these stories right after this. Now, guys, we're going to get right into this story. And the presumption is that the boyfriend deleting his post of support, it speaks volumes. So first, I'm going to go to share screen here and read off to you exactly what he initially had posted, but has now since deleted. Okay. So we're going to come down, and he wrote on his Instagram, I don't even know how to start off the post, but to only say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for saving my girlfriend's life. Also, thank you to everyone who shared a picture, came out to Hoover, meant to help us with the search parties, and who went and proceeded to tell other people about Carlee to bring more awareness to her story. I have been going nonstop since I received the call that she was missing on Thursday night. I know she would have done the same for me. So I wasn't going to give up until I saw her face again. He continued, I was straight tunnel vision, even when I got on social media on my downtime and see some of these false allegations and assumptions about me having something to do with her abduction would have me discouraged at times, but I didn't give up and kept my faith. I just want to thank all of my family, friends, former teammates, and church members who called or text me just to let me know they're praying and here for me. You guys don't know how much that meant to me. Okay. And so that is what he wrote on his post when initially Carlee Lee first returned home. But after the press conference yesterday, he has since deleted that post of support. So I'm going to go here and take you to the neighborhood talk. Okay. And so this is a screen of, and his name is Tamar Latrell Simmons. This is the screen of where he posted a picture of himself and Carlee Lee on his Instagram. And he had a collage of pictures before he deleted it of her and him, along with that message that I just read to y'all. And it says here, Carlee Russell's boyfriend deletes post defending her amid news of her recent searches. And they mean her recent phone searches, okay? So he has since deleted that post of support. Speaks volumes. Now, I'm going to just share a screen again and show you this is his Instagram. The post was here before. Okay, he got 7 posts now, all just pictures of himself. No indication that he even supported her or had a girlfriend called Carlee Lee. And, you know, that post that he once put up there, gone, no trace of it. Now, I want to now share a screen and show you the activists that kind of, you know, supports these particular causes when someone is missing or there's some type of injustice. And she has a really good message because she said, regardless of, you know, the final outcome of this story with Carlee Russell, we cannot let this deter us from, you know, supporting somebody else that this may happen to for real. And she also said that, you know what, Carlee Lee, regardless, also has to have some type of mental issues going on, because who in their right mind would do something like this? And she also was supporting Carlee Lee Russell because Tamika is an AKA, and so is Carlee Lee Russell. So let's hear what Tamika had to say about this situation. And it's going to be a point where her live skips. Hang in there because it comes right back in.
Hey, folks. Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon, everybody. So I am running, y'all. I just got back. I've been in Kentucky for the last few days. We'll talk about what happened in Kentucky in a minute. And so I am running around town trying to get myself back into the groove before I have to travel again. And so I am looking crazy. But hey, Bishop Swan, I wanted to come on here real quick and just make sure that you all know, obviously, I'm paying attention through people who've been calling me since I've been on the road, and threads and other things that I'm on, talking about this whole situation with Carlee Russell. And I just want to start off by saying to you all that you can count on me to do the same exact thing that we did for Carlee Russell whenever I can. I'm not always able to weigh in on every situation. That's just not realistic for any one person. But I'm often out there, as you all know, speaking on behalf of Black women and, you know, Black folks in general. And
It's going to come back in, so give it a second. Someone called her.
I'm sorry. I should have put the thing on do not disturb, but I didn't, and so hopefully it doesn't ring again. But you can count on me to do that. No matter what, I've been doing it. We'll continue to. And I think it's important for us to just put things in the proper context. So for one, this about 48 to 72 hours. 72 is on the long side. That's a dangerous time frame if you let this type of stuff go for 72 hours. So it's about 48 hours, 48 to 72 hours that you have when someone goes missing. And we, no matter what, those individuals who were involved, there were so many people. I mean, folks that you'll never hear of course, myself and a number of others, and people posting throughout the weekend. Star Jones, who many of you know from TV, was also a prosecutor. Now she has her own show as a judge. She was very, very adamant first thing in the morning on Saturday that we needed to weigh in and do everything we could. Friday night, as I sat at the Sean Carter Foundation 20th year anniversary gala, many of you were reaching out and saying, hey, this happened. This young lady is missing. And so I already intended to get involved, but then I found out the next morning she was also my sorority sister, which of course, made it even more intense. And so we weighed in, and I would do that anytime your family reached out saying that their child was missing, and she was in fact missing. So with all the details that we know now, she was in fact missing. Her family, from what I can tell, her parents, especially who I'm praying really hard for, they did not know where their daughter was. So she was missing. And so therefore, everybody, anybody, all of us, any one of you who are here on this live did exactly what we were supposed to do. And we should continue to do that, because there are Black women, there are women, there are children, there are men missing, people being abducted, people being trafficked. Trafficking is a real serious issue. And so it's not something that we can look at this and say, oh, well, I'm never going to get involved anymore. And in fact, I heard someone saying, well, I'm not praying for anybody anymore. I'm just gonna mind my business. That says more about you than even Carlee, unfortunately. So you really got to search yourself for what that means. That because someone has seemingly misreported or lied, or whatever language we want to use, that would make any one of us decide that we were not going, or that we are not going to jump in that short window to try to save a life. So I just want to put that out there. I don't think anybody should be walking around. I got people texting me like, are you okay? How do you feel? Of course, I feel disappointed. I feel sad. And I just want to be clear that, all of this is based upon what we're hearing from the police report and some things that we saw online, people developing stories. And so still have we not heard from Carlee. However, based upon what we see from the police and, from other reports, it seems as if she made a false report and that she lied. And so, that's that, and I pray for her. I truly do. I pray for the young sister. I hope that whatever she is going through or whatever has happened to her, that, she gets the type of help that she needs, whatever the details may have been, because even if what is being reported at this point, or what we all are sort of taken away from the reports, is true, that all of this was kind of pre-planned and staged, there has to be some mental health issue that would have you to do all of these different things for whatever reason. And so I hope she gets the type of help that she deserves, or that she needs. And I hope her family, I hope her mom, who I saw out there, just broke my heart to see this woman who, you could tell she was really looking for her daughter. And even in this latest press interview that she did, it was clear that, she was traumatized, and I hope that they, as a family, are able to figure out all the details. There are some people who are going to want to talk about what happens when there are false reports, and false reports it's a serious thing. It's actually harmful to the entire fight to help stop trafficking, to end trafficking, and to also deal with people being abducted. But it certainly is harmful to Black women. It's very harmful to Black women because we already have to fight
Mm-hmm.
to get the type of attention that we deserve and that we need when we go missing. And so when these types of situations happen, it really gives people an excuse, not to double down. And I appreciate, I didn't watch the press conference. I only heard a piece of it, but I do know that at some point in the press conference, I think the police chief or whoever the individual is that's speaking from the police department was asked by a reporter what this will mean going forward for women of color when there are reports made of them being missing. And I believe, based upon, again, third-hand or second-hand information, that he said that it doesn't mean anything, that we're going to search for all people the
He
same.
did.
Like, we're not going to allow this incident to stop us from doing our jobs. And I hope that's true in Alabama and just across the nation. One thing I will say is that this incident has helped to put the issue of trafficking, the issue of missing individuals back into the forefront. And I think what we do ourselves for the work that we put into this, a service by continuing that fight and continuing to figure out how we can do better, how we can do more, and what mechanisms we need to really continue to push forward these cases, because there are people out here who really, really are in danger, people who have gone missing and they're not dead, and there's actually an opportunity to save them. And we need that same type of energy. So again, I hope that for everybody who is listening right now, from all those who are, feeling dismayed, feeling just troubled, your spirit feeling troubled, just know that our fight, our efforts, it was not in vain. Our work is not in vain. And there is so much more that we need to do. And I see somebody said that, her parents knew as well. And I truly, honestly, my gut instincts tell me that that's not the case. I don't
I
believe
feel
they knew. One thing we know for sure is that one of the things that sort of affirms that to me is they refused to have a GoFundMe. They said, we don't want a GoFundMe. We just want you to donate your resources to help increase the fee or whatever, the finder's fee or whatever for the missing person, whatever they call it.
Crime
Y'all know what I'm talking
Stoppers.
about. And so, when I hear that, when I see that, her parents were willing to say, hey, we don't want a dime. We just want, to find our daughter. And I think that that's important. And let me just say also, Carlee Russell is 25 years old. And I think back, I was much younger. But I think back to some of the dumb shit that we did as young people, stupid things we did, things that hurt our families, our parents, or whatever. I want to make sure that we don't try to lean into something that says that the parents had to be in on some major conspiracy, because I don't believe that
Thank
that's
you.
true.
Thank
And
you.
again, like I
Mhm.
said, the fact that her parents were not looking for any money, that they weren't saying, help us and give us money, but they wanted it to go to the whatever, I guess it's the
Crime
police
Stoppers.
department. I don't know where the money goes. I've never actually traced that, but I know that when you give money, you can help with the search, and you can also help to increase the number, the amount that is out there for anybody who has information. Um, and I think, from her family's perspective, that was, for them not to want any personal money tells me something about the type of people they are. And not for nothing, every single person, I don't care who you are, you could have no family, you could be houseless or unhoused, you could be a prostitute, you could be a stripper, you could be whatever, you could be formerly incarcerated, you could be a person with all kinds of criminal background, you could be all of that. You still deserve, if something like this happens to you, for the world to cry out to see whether or not there's anything that we could do to save you if something like an actual missing person situation takes place. But I know for a fact, just based upon the relationships that this family had and the way they were able to reach out to so many people, that they were not a family that you could sit back and think that, oh, the mama was down with a scheme or whatever. It just doesn't make sense. Just understanding the type of people that we're dealing with here, and whatever the root issues are of whatever Carlee may have been experiencing or whatever happened. Again, all of this is based upon the reports coming out of the police department. Again, I hope she really does get help for it. So that's what I have to say about that. Again, I'm with you. I think it's Brittany. I really truly does hate. I do, excuse me, hate that this has happened. And I really, hope that we don't allow this to be a way for us to scapegoat for all of us to say that going forward, we got to scrutinize things because we don't have long. Again, 48 hours is no. By the time you find out about it, it probably has been going on for a while, because the national media is not about to break a story immediately when a Black girl goes missing. So, a lot of work went into getting this thing on in the press. So, that's my only thing I can say. I don't really have anything else to add. Do I feel bad? No. Do I feel anything? No. Actually, I'm proud of us. I'm proud of what we did. I'm proud of the way we came together. I'm proud of the fact that people were active, that the local community was on the ground. They were searching for Carlee. I'm proud of it. And I hope that we continue to do what we've done here in so many different cases. So that's that. And, I guess the only other thing I will say is that, the work continues, y'all, in all types of situations. It's not just missing persons, but we have a plethora of things happening in our community. And I spent the last several days in Louisville, Kentucky, meeting with people around. We went to the concert, which was amazing. It was the best, the most amazing. Oh my gosh, the experience. By the way, I've seen Beyonce in concert in the past, and she's amazing in general, just amazing. The woman dances straight for about 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes, with about 20 minutes of a break, which is cumulative. So all the time that she goes back to get dressed and all of that is about 20 minutes. So she does an amazing show. And the way in which she, really leaned into the city, leaned into the fact that Louisville wasn't a place to just come and put on a show and leave, but instead she was competent in terms of her understanding of what happened in Louisville, Breonna Taylor's family, and making sure that they felt loved, giving us 40 tickets that included her family, that included, so many different people from across the country, protesters. All of us were able to be there together. And again, Beyonce leaned into the pain. She leaned into the fight. She leaned into the courage. She stood in the middle of an audience after she did the Black Parade song, which, by the way, I'm in Black Parade, my little name. And when she came out to the song, which was it was an outfit change, a setting change. And when she came out, she, screamed out "Until Freedom," which is my organization name. So that in itself was touching. She did the song. She mentions me. And then she stood in the middle of the audience for, I don't know, over a minute with her fist in the air, her Black Power fist in the air. And the people went crazy because most of, the people who live in Louisville, even people who are not from Louisville, know about the pain and the fight and the struggle that has happened around Breonna Taylor and the fact that it still continues. And so we appreciate Beyonce for doing that. But beyond that, we were in Louisville, and we made sure to have several strategy meetings on how we're going to stop Daniel Cameron, the current attorney general of Kentucky, who refused to prosecute those officers for killing Breonna. And now, of course, the feds have picked it up. They found many illegal things and many crimes committed in the midst of the Breonna Taylor, from the shooting all the way to the investigation and all the things that have happened afterwards. But he didn't find anything. So he's incompetent and a bunch of other stuff. And, we have a major campaign for the next 3.5 months or whatever to fight him so that he doesn't become governor. And so we had a lot of strategy sessions on that. And now that, and that's the work. Like for us, we jump in for emergency situations, and Carlee Russell was an emergency situation, but now we continue our work. And so we ask you to continue to support Until Freedom. Right now you can go and you can give and make sure that Until Freedom has the resources that we need. The t-shirt that we wore to the concert was a very powerful t-shirt. The front of it has a beautiful picture of Breonna Taylor, but the back of it talks about what Daniel Cameron did and our efforts to stop him from becoming governor. And we're going to put those t-shirts up for sale today. And so if you appreciate our work, you appreciate what we have done and, what we continue to do, then, I ask that you please make sure you don't give up the fight. Make sure you don't tap out. Make sure you don't allow this very, very upsetting and disappointing moment to make you lose sight of the fact that we're in a war. We are literally in a war. And it's everything from trafficking to police violence to economic issues, to gun violence that we see happening in our communities. There's so many things, and we cannot stop. We can't get stagnant. We can't, start feeling sorry for ourselves and lose sight of the fight. So the t-shirt, Bishop, is going up on the site in just about an hour or so. It's also going to be on my social media. The t-shirt is not cheap. We're asking folks to support the organization and get a t-shirt along with supporting the organization. And so we're going to be posting about it. And I really, 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 really need all of you to please go on the site and purchase the shirt. You're going to stretch yourself a little bit. It's going to cost a little bit of change. But I need you to do that to help us to continue to do what we do. So please, that's right. Let's not get distracted. I need to sell. Listen to what I'm saying to y'all. This is really, really, really important. I need to sell 10,000 t-shirts. I need to sell 10,000 t-shirts. 10,000 t-shirts to be able to raise the type of money that it will take us to have 2 offices in Kentucky, one in Lexington and one in Louisville, Kentucky. So in those 2 places that have enough progressives, Black folks, registered Democrats, and all of that alone to beat Cameron, to stop him from winning, I have to sell 10,000 t-shirts. So when you buy one, I need you to also buy one for your mama, one for your sister, one for the children. I need everybody, Lottie Dottie and everybody to get these t-shirts. This is super duper serious. I need to sell 10,000 t-shirts. I know, oh God, that's a lot of t-shirts, but we can do it. We do it all the time. We sell out of things all the time. Please help us at Until Freedom to do our work. Again, it's untilfreedom.com. You'll see it on my socials. We're going to be pushing it. Please push it to everybody that you can. Help me sell 10,000 t-shirts to make this campaign happen. And I just want to say that, again, y'all, I love y'all so much. I love Black people so much. Sometimes my stomach gets in knots. Like I get emotional when I think about how much I love my people. It is something that has been instilled in me by my parents. It's just who I am. I have a passion for us, y'all. I love Black people so much, and I will fight for us until the death. And it hurts me like hell when we have these setbacks or these moments where I know people are feeling pain and feeling emotional about it because y'all was going so hard. But I'm asking y'all, please don't give up. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up. Don't back down. Know that there's so much power in our determination. It's so much power in our love. It's so much power when we decide to sit still and say we're going to take on a fight, y'all. It's so much power in it. And if nothing else, what we learn from this is that there's power. There is power in our power. There's power in our fight. There's power in our struggle. There's power in our hearts. There's power in our love for one another. And I refuse to let anybody steal that from me. Anybody. Nobody can take that from us. So don't give up, don't back down, and let's go to war nationally. Don't worry about whether or not, because let me tell you this. If Daniel Cameron becomes the governor of Kentucky, he's going on to fight to be president. When we did the research, there was in our strategy session, we had all our political people from Linda Sarsour to Shamika Parrish, right? And she's a leader in Louisville, Kentucky, and a bunch of other folks were there to lay out for us the political pieces around this and the data, the numbers. First of all, of 170,000 people that Governor Beshear, which is the current governor of Kentucky, and trust me, I could go on with a bunch of stuff about the Democrats too, but Governor Beshear has restored the voting rights. Has restored the the voting rights of 170,000 returning citizens. 60,000, only 60,000 of the 170,000 number, only 60,000 of the 170,000 number are registered to vote. Only 10,000 of those people showed up to the polls. Only 10,000. Now, I know what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say, well, people are tired. They don't care. We're worn out. But I want you to know that first of all, 170,000 people's voting rights would not have been restored if the Republicans and or Governor Attorney General Daniel Cameron was the governor. And this is not about, the Democrats have heard. No, we're talking about the facts. They would not have restored the voting rights of 170,000 people. His 12-point plan on public safety of what he intends to do includes the death penalty for people convicted of drug offenses. It includes basically centering police, giving police more rights on wiretapping. He has said very clearly that he stands by police 100%. He wants to get rid of the Civilian Complaint Review Board, which is the only process that people have, especially not somebody that's not dead with a smoking gun right there. The cop shot him, killed him. It's on video. The Civilian Complaint, I need some water in here. Excuse me. The Civilian Complaint Review Board is the only recourse that people have to report unlawful policing, to report abuse. He wants to get rid of it. And when asked what he will do to deal with police officers' abusive policing, he had no answer. So he does not care. So if he is, and the other thing that we found out that is extremely alarming is that people who that there are black folks that just because he's black, they voted for him. And they continue to say that they just vote for him because he's black. They don't understand his policies. They don't know who he is. This man is extremely dangerous. Now, not the kind of dangerous like, we say dangerous because we want to win an election. We're talking about dangerous like he wants to kill people convicted of a drug offense. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is not like, we cannot be like, I don't live in Kentucky, so it ain't got nothing to do with me. Nah, it has something to do with all of us. Every single person that's on this live, no matter where you live, it's an implication of our local politics. Okay, so I'm saying that this is really serious. And we are physically, just like we did for Breonna Taylor, when we moved into Kentucky to work, we are going to be in Kentucky out of 2 offices doing very, very serious work. And so I know when we come to you and tell you that we need you to buy a t-shirt and you're like, damn, t-shirt should be $8 to $10. And we tell you that it's more expensive than that. And we tell you that we need 10,000 t-shirts sold. People are going to say, oh man, I mean, God, how much y'all want us to do? We just did this, we did that, we did this. But this is very serious. It has national and even international implications. And we cannot allow the man who sided with the police and allowed them to get away with murder. They murdered Breonna Taylor and they ruined Kenny Walker's life forever. Forever. We cannot allow them to get away with what they did, and we not stand up, stop this man from winning. We just got to let them know, don't play with us. Don't play with us. Don't think you're going to just play in my face after you've done us wrong. And that's the deal with that. So, love y'all. Do not give up the fight. We are going to continue. We're going to fight for all people in our communities that are marginalized, going through hell. We're going to stand up for them and make it clear that, you know, as long as it's on our watch, you got to be the one to be proven wrong. Because if it's on our watch, we're going to try to do the right thing. So God bless y'all. Much love. And I'm sure that, you know, when I post the t-shirt later, I'll probably come back and try to talk us up so people will go and make sure that y'all support. Please do us that favor, y'all. I need that help. I really do. I try not to ask for a lot, but I need help this time. I need y'all to help until freedom. Peace.
Peace, girlfriend. So she said a whole lot of stuff, and I let it continue to play because she had a good word about some other initiatives, right? So the bottom line is that we cannot let this Carlee Russell story discourage us. We cannot let this stop us from praying for the next person that may happen to go missing. And we cannot, get in our minds just because of this in the future they're not going to look for the rest of us. Okay, this is a lot, guys. Chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity I will chat back. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, thanks for watching and welcome back. Everybody out there, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video.